students, I welcome you all to Current Affair Lectures by Azad ICS Academy. And today we are going to study the current affairs of 19th February 2025. So let us see the important article that we have or editorial that we have for today. That is the danger of digital censor board. So what is this all about? See, all of you have seen that there is a comment that was being passed by some of the important YouTubers. And because of this particular digital censor board and this in danger, we are discussing about that. Let us see that. Okay. See, the controversy has erupted over a show India's Got Latent. So there's a show you all have seen, and the name of the show is India's Got Latent. Okay, in this there were some of the comments that were made by parents and etc. and all of that, and just not about the parents, but some inappropriate comments were basically being made. Okay, I will not discuss about what is this entirely because you guys are more aware of it because you guys are more on YouTube and you will be aware of what is basically happening. Okay, so hence this particular person who is a YouTuber from the furor centered around some crude remarks made by YouTuber Ranveer Allahabadia. His remarks have been commended by the chief ministers, a parliamentary standing committee, and even by the Supreme Court. So basically, what are so we are not going to go into details of what are these particular remarks. So you will get more about these remarks with more amount of masala in the YouTube. I'm not going to go there, but yes, see, this is something which is not correct. Hence, we will discuss about this, and they are being commended by Chief Minister, Parliamentary Standing Committee, and even by the Supreme Court. Hosted by a comedian, Samay Rana, and the show is defined by a use of dark humor and has gained immense popularity, particularly among the young audience. However, behind the outrages over individual comments, the controversies highlight the board's struggle to control over media. So hence, basically, they are using some kind of dark jokes, you can say, so that they can create some kind of content, right? On the India's Got Latent, which is conceptualized and hosted by a comedian and a YouTube, Samay Raina, judges attempt to critique the latents or talents of aspiring performers. Dank humor defines the show. Both Mr. Allahabadi and Mr. Raina enjoys the immense popularity as YouTubers, especially with the young people. Mr. Raina is a rising sensation who has shared the KBC stage with Amitabh Bachchan, and Mr. Allahabadia was extolled by the Prime Minister himself as a creator of the year. While many may say that their online reach is a reason behind the moral panic, the two YouTubers are made pounds of a great game of control of our digital media. So something that we have to understand. See, both the YouTubers who are there are very much in popular. They are very much popular, and why there is this panic that has been created is the reason is because they are very popular, and if they are able to pass such kind of comments, automatically it is going to give a very negative impact, and that is the reason this kind of comment is panic is being created. Okay, so now what is the legislative purpose on vulgarity or law on vulgarity? Notwithstanding, or you can say the Supreme Court dismissed criminal case for foul language in OTT. So this is something that we need to understand. So the foul language was very used. So here you can see cuts the remark that Mr. Allahabadia has a very dirty mind. A law separates moral repugnancy from criminality. In Apurva Arora versus the government of NTC in Delhi 2024, a court squashed criminal prosecutions for foul language in OTT called as college romance. Okay, there's another case that is there. That is Apurva Arora versus the NTC of India, NTC of Delhi 2024. The court has also, prosecuted a foul language in OTT. OTT, you all know that we have so many OTTs, and because of that, there is a show called College Romance, and there was a lot of foul language that was used, and that is why they have been putting a case on them also. The court demanded an objective test for such kind of, content, which is focusing on sexual or lustful thoughts were aroused and not whether words were decent. Okay, so all the words that were used were not that decent. The court further explained that the court's language, however, distressed or imparted does not automatically become obscene. So this is something that we need to understand. Stated that Allahabadia's remarks, though, okay, so they are basically, let us not go to Allahabadia right now. Let us understand what is happening here. In this particular case, they are saying that there is too much of lustful or too much of obscene or sexual thoughts that have been arousing when you see such kind of, shows. So this is what they're trying to say. It is ruling directly relevant here. Okay, the ruling what they are mentioning here is directly relevant here. Mr. Alawadia's comment at worst constitute a requisite just rather than crucial obscenity, yet further and legal intermediate, often elapsing constitutional principle. So his remarks, though crude, do not legally quantify the obscene. So here you are not able to quantify how much good it is or how much bad it is. Despite legal precedents, moral outrage is something that we need to worry about. So it's not just about talking something, it is about having some moral content in it. The second legal provision which has been invoked against India's got latent is section 69A of the Information Technology Act of 2000, which provide Indian government with the power to block access to website. As revealed by Kanchan Gupta, a senior advisory, Ministry of Information and Broadcast, curiously, decency and morality do not fall under the grounds of blocking website under section 69A. The statutory limit was exposed as far as 2010 when the government tried to block the pornography website Savita Bhai. Legality, however, does not do not stand in a way of union government's expanding appetite for censorship, as seen in a surge of blocking order, which has government's expanding which has been aided by the information technology integrated guidelines and digital media ethics code rules in 2021. A blocking decision remains stuck in secrecy. Court typically avoids striking them down. So here we have to understand a little bit about IT Act. So we have something which is called as Information Technology Act of 2000. And secondly, what has happened here is they have tried to invoke such kind of, we are trying to invoke this against, we are trying to invoke against India's got latent under the section 69. So what does the 69 say? It says that you can block any content. In simple words, what it is trying to say here is in this section, you can block any content which you feel, okay, is not decent or it is against the morality. If there is something which is against the morality or if it is not decent, you can go and block such kind of content. This is what is being told. Okay, as seen now are not the grounds. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I said these are the not grounds. Decency and morality are not the grounds on which you can block any content. Okay, that is what 69 A of this particular IT says. The government has a history of using censorship and has been seen that there is a Savita Bhabi, there's a website of pornography and this has been blocked of Savita Bhabi and increased content restrictions. So hence they have also, blocked and they have made sure that there is content restrictions as well through IT rules 2021. So in 2000, you can see that it was different. And in 2021, they have been, blocking decision remains secret under the rules of 2021. So there is a new IT Act that has been also there or new rules that are being there in 2021. And under this, they are also telling that it's going to be different, okay, when it comes to blocking such kind of content. The government has increased the content restrictions. Before it was not, but now it has been increased. Okay. So now why are we trying to do this? So why there should be a regulation? Why there should be a push for a stronger digital regulation? See, what we have to understand is the Ministry of Information and Broadcast pushes a sweep of broadcast bill gathered, stream before the general elections, and then return it from the place online creators in the same bracket as traditional broadcast. Earlier, there were public outcry against the provision of this bill. Now, thanks to recent clamor of strong censorship, the bill has received momentum. The Parliament Standing Committee of Information Technology, headed by BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, has now urged the ministry to propose a new regulation and amendments. The recent controversies has different actors playing in family scripts. A public uproar leads to a new rules which arm the government with sweeping powers. So hence, what we have to understand here is now, see, over a period of time, the broadcast bill, there will be a new information broadcast bill that will be there. Okay, there will be new set of rules. And over a period of time, this has been gaining a lot of, what you mean to say, power. Okay, over a period of time. The Parliamentary Standing Committee is also been there. That has been headed by this particular person, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, has now urged the ministry to, propose a new regulation and amendments to this particular whatever acts that we have, IT Act or the new bill that will be produced, that is broadcast bill. Okay. Now, apart from this, so what is the pattern of government that is there? Okay. On January 15, 2021, Amazon Prime Thunder released and was immediately accused of insulting religious sentiments. This led to a criminal complaints, government intervention, and apology from the creators, which was supposed to be offensive scenes. Yet multiple FIRs persisted, targeting actors, producers, and Amazon Prime India head. Amid call for censorship, the government on February 25, 2021 introduced the Information Technology Rules. Part 3 now covers digital news, media, and OTT platforms also. So before these were not there, now they are also getting included because of one of the release that was done on Amazon Prime. Okay, so hence we have to understand where the government is pressured to lead a scene cut and multiple legal case against the creators. So OTT platforms have increasingly compiled to the government censorship to avoid such legal threats. So now OTT platforms are also trying to, compile with this particular, government so that they are avoiding such kind of troubles. Now, we also have to understand there are some political and economical implications as well. So the controversy is not just about the vulgarity, but also reflects a larger shift in the government's termed as techno petromolism. So what is this exactly here is it's not just about one person, it's also about the politicians that we have to understand. So political parties are competing not just on the welfare, but also on the digital censorship, aligning with the mix of culture, naturalism, and populist welfare policies. So here we need to understand that a lot of political parties are also, getting involved in this, right? They're making sure that there's a welfare policy, and they are also getting involved so that it's not just welfare, but also on the digital censorship. They're not just getting involved in the welfare, but they're also making sure that there is some kind of digital censorship as well. Okay. So what we have to understand is this present moment in this time is not simply the outcome of single controversy, nor it is just an example of rising online vulgarity fueled by cheap data and, some kind of teleconnectivity. Yes, Yamini Iyer and Neelangela Shikar have argued the Indian state has undergone fundamental changes in political economy where technology has enabled direct benefit transfer as from the tribal alliance rather than right guaranteed by the constitution, calling a technopet, as I already told you, petromonalism. They state that they state that it has advanced within the framework of Prime Minister's political appeal that realizes a mixed culture, monolism, and welfare populism. Hence, it shows that there is no surprise in the political parties after competing on direct benefit transfer, now advocating for digital central rule. This may explain why entire state and larger sections of the society have been served with actions and distressful jokes. So here we need to understand what here is. There's a debate over digital content regulation and the political shift. So this is what they are basically trying to tell. These are some of the important people who are telling us that they are urging that Indian state needs to undergo fundamental changes, especially when it comes to political economy, and where there is technology that has enabled the direct benefit transfer. So we all have seen that in the previous lectures also we have seen JAM, we have seen Jan Dhan Yojana, etc., where there is a direct transfer that's happening. But along with that, we can also see that there is another level where a lot of people are having some negativity, and that needs to be regulated is something that they are trying to focus upon. The next important editorial or the next important article that we have for today is in landmark talks, Russia-US agrees to work together, ending the war in Ukraine. So recently what has happened is Russia and US on the Tuesday agreed to start working towards ending the war in Ukraine and improving their diplomatic and economic ties. See, Russia and USA are trying to, talk together, and Russia is trying to talk and end the war so that their diplomatic relations and economic ties are becoming better. So America's top diplomats said that after talks with reflecting extraordinary about face in US foreign policy under the President Donald Trump. So now we are having a new face of President Donald Trump, and under that, this is something that has basically been happening. This shift in US policy under the President Donald Trump marks a significant change in the foreign policy, is what we have to understand. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that two sides agreed to boldly pursue three goals: to restore staffing at their respective embassies in Washington and Moscow, to create high-level team to support Ukraine peace talks. So here they are discussing about first thing, that is, there will be a high-level team to support Ukraine peace talks and to explore closer relation and economic cooperation. He stressed, however, that he talks, which were attended by his Russian counterpart, okay, marked beginning of the conversation. So there were a lot of people who have come together and they are trying to, hire different staff okay, high level team support so that they can have some peaceful talk regarding the Ukraine and Russia war. So anyways, exclusion of Ukraine in the talks. So, anyways, we need to understand that okay, there are two important powers and they are talking among themselves, and against whom this particular thing is there, that person is not there. That is Ukraine is absent. Speaking of press person, okay, Mr. Lavrov said that in this view, the conversation was very useful. He mentioned the same three goals. Okay, no Ukraine officials were present in the meeting, which came as a country is slowing but steadily losing the grounds against the Russian troops in grinding war and began nearly 3 years ago. So, which has happened nearly 3 years ago. Here you can see that there is no any Ukraine officials which were present. Okay, raising concerns from Ukraine and European allies. So you can see that when Ukraine is not there, how can you talk about these two people, right? The country itself, about whom you're talking, that country is absent. President Volodymyr Zelensky insisted that Ukraine must be included in any negotiation outcome. So he says that there should be any negotiations are there, that Ukraine should also be a part of it. Okay. European leaders expressed worries about being sidelined and emphasized that Europeans must also be a part of discuss. So here they said that, okay, why are we not a part of it? Even we should be a part of it, is what European people are also talking about. Right? US and European reactions. The US acknowledged that the ending the conflict would require consent from all the sides, including the European involvement. European leaders vowed that increased defense spending and considering deploy troops in Ukraine. French President Marco called the emergency talks, revealing tension between the Europe and uh, within the Europe on this issue. So there has been a lot of talks basically that are happening here. This is something that we need to understand. Right? So what we have to understand is the diplomatic shifts that are there over here. Okay, signifies a potential realignment in the global dynamic power. While discussions have started, challenges remain in achieving the unified European stance and resolving the Ukraine crisis. So, anyways, Europe is also, trying to mm, have a stance in resolving this particular Ukraine crisis as well. So this is another important thing that we have to understand. So that's all for today. If you have any queries, doubts, try to put it in the comment section. If you have any suggestions, put that as well. I'll try to implement all of that in upcoming classes. Thank you so much.